Today we're going to make Stoplight pepper and bean soup. This is a soup that we use the Smarter Lunchroom's philosophy or strategy to name it and give it a fancy name, a fancy fun name. You can see it's Stoplight pepper because it's got red, yellow, and green. And then we have some tomatoes, and we have ham or turkey ham if you have to. And one of the things you want to do when you're cutting these vegetables is you want to remember that you want to keep these vegetables in a soup spoon size so that they're not too big when the people go to eat them. One of the fun things about this soup is it also contains beans. These beans, of course, are Michigan beans. These beans could be, there's 3 ways you can prepare these beans, and it really comes down to your own process and adapting to your own standard operating procedure. But the first thing you can do is you can soak your beans. If you want to soak your beans, you take 1 pound of Michigan Navy beans and you soak them in 6 cups of cold water. You put them together and you put them in the refrigerator overnight, cover them, pull them out the next day, drain off the water, and then use those beans in your soup. That's method number 1. Method number 2 could be what's called a quick soak, and that can be done at the beginning of the day. The cooks can come in and put the beans in the water and cook them in the water for 1 hour. Then after that hour is up, drain them off that water and then put them in with the fresh vegetables that are in the stock pot. Of course, when a cook comes in the morning, if they really want this soup to work, any soup to work, they need to start their stocks. And leading to the preparation of soups, you got to take your stock and you got to start simmering it when you first get into the kitchen. This soup is actually a combination of chicken broth and tomato sauce. It's a nice blend. It gives a nice soft blend to the peppers and the other vegetables. You got to allow that stock to cook, and then the first ingredient you have to put into it is any raw vegetable that has to go in and cook. Of course, the Stoplight peppers count, the beans count, so the beans are all in there and they've started the cooking. Keep in mind that when you cut the vegetables, they need to be back down to that soup size. They need time to cook, so give them that hour at least to cook. The nutrient value of the soup is in the fact that those vegetables have cooked into that broth. That's the important part because we don't want to lose that nutrient value. Soups have their flavor. We all know, we've all heard the stories how about soups taste better the next day. Well, that's because the flavor and the nutrients of that soup go into that broth, and the broth incorporates that wonderful flavor. And of course, it's really true, which means you can cook some soup for today and you can always cook some soup for tomorrow. The soup reduces, and when it reduces, the flavors condense. All the soups, or this Stoplight pepper and bean soup, has a ½ cup of vegetables in it so that you can count this soup as a vegetable at lunch.
In addition to the fresh peppers and the Michigan dry beans, which by the way are available year-round, we are going to be adding fresh cilantro and fresh tomato. So the cilantro, I'm going to be picking off these leaves, get a good pile there, bunch it up, and I'm going to roll through, remember fingers back, roll through, cut, and then give it a fine chop at the end. Okay, let's go to the tomatoes now. Oh look, this was improperly stored and I have some damage on the tomato. Well, I can cut that off and I can cook it. I'm not going to serve it raw on a salad bar, but I can cook it. So let's just eliminate that, and inside it's fine. So we're going to cut that in half, and I want nice small dices. Remember, visualize that teaspoon that you saw with the peppers. Those are the sizes that we're trying to get. Just cut through this tomato, and I have a nice fine dice. And this tomato, which is a little softer, you're going to just have to be a little more careful with, and then you're going to give it that fine dice. And again, by using these fresh tomatoes, you have reduced the sodium content of the soup significantly.